Okay, so in this video we are going to see how we can define a function and call a function. So first you have to use a keyword def, which means definition, and then write the name of the function. You can write anything. I'm using the name of function as number, and now inside these parentheses you have to pass the parameters. Parameters means whatever variable will be used inside the function, or the parameters means which variables will be used for calling. Okay, so let's say I use x here, means I'm using just one variable here. So after that, let's say I want to give a if statement, and it says if the number means the x is the variable which is having the value here. So if x percentage 2 means whatever is the number, for example the x is having the value 4, 4 will be divided by the 2, and the output of this particular part will be the remainder, right? So if the remainder of a particular number after dividing by 2 equals 0, then it should print even number, right? Even number. Else print print odd number. Okay, so this is the definition I have given for this particular function, which is having the name number and x is the parameter here. So let's see what's gonna happen. I'm going to do one more thing here. Let's say I'm using three quotes here, right? And inside this I'm going to write something like this function will check whether the number is even or odd, right? So this will act as a document for this particular function, means you can skip this part, but it will be good if you write this, because while you are performing these kind of operations, means if you have a large program and you want user to know what this particular function is going to perform, right? So for that I have done this documentation. So which means whenever a user want to know what this particular function do, without seeing inside these statements, he will get to know, and I will show you soon that part. So let's see what's gonna happen. So let's run this function. So there is no output, but as you can see there is no error. So what I'm going to do is, now I'm going to call this particular function. So for calling, you have to use the name of the function, which is number, and now you have to pass the arguments. While you are defining the function, this particular part is called the parameters, but when you are calling it, this particular part is called as argument. So inside the arguments I'm passing a number, a value. Let's say I pass 7, and there is some indentation problem, so you can use Control Alt Shift and capital L to do that part. So now it's perfectly fine. Okay, so here this statement is calling this particular function, and whatever I have written inside this will be executed. Okay, so I'm going to call this particular function 2 times for different numbers. Let's say I'm using an even number here, 8. And one more thing I'm going to do is number, right, no, print. Inside this I'm going to mention the name of the function, which is number, and dot, and then underscore dot. What this will do, this is going to print this part, this comment part, you can say, the doc string. We call it the doc string. So if you just, without calling or without seeing the definition of the function, you just want to check what this particular number function is going to perform, you just can run this part, name of the function dot underscore dot, and then it will print the actual dot string, right? So let's see what's gonna happen. So for the number 7, it is called, and 7 is divided by 2, and the remainder is not 0. So the number is odd number. So odd number is printed. And for the second time when we passed 8 as argument, so this number is going to give the 0 remainder. So this statement will be printed. So number is even, and after that I have printed the number dot underscore doc, means I have printed the doc string. So this is going to show this path that this function will check whether the number is even or odd. So it's not necessary you have to write this doc string in every function. It's just in case you want yourself to know later on what I have defined inside the function, or you want to let know the any user what this particular function is going to perform. So we will continue with the same topic in the upcoming videos. So stay tuned.